Okay, this is the very first thing we're going to have you do. If you can scan this Padlet and just share a GIF that completes you, and then we're going to talk about using Padlet and how it can be impactful within your school or in your classroom and what you can use it for. So Padlet is an interactive board that allows you to capture video, images, GIFs or GIFs, depending what you call them. And it allows you to have students collaborate and talk to one another on a platform that you can control. So it's quite nice. So let's start with getting you to scan this and adding your own GIF. So with Padlets, just so you're aware, the free version allows you to get 3 Padlet boards per email. So if you used your CSSD email, you could get 3. If you do your Learn account, you could get 3. If you have another account somewhere else, you could get another 3. So sometimes that's how people try to get access to a few more Padlets is by using different emails. It is a fantastic tool. So I'll just show you what this looks like. So this is what I've shared. I'm the sloth. And because I'm slow moving, but so happy to be with my friends again. Summer's always lovely, but seeing my colleagues also warms my heart and really is nice to be back with like-minded people. And because my children are not like-minded, just kidding. So then we've got Andrea put 3-day dance weekend get. And I'm just going to show you it live so you guys can see what other people are putting up here. And so when you are adding to the Padlet, you just actually go down here in the corner. Just going to move this over. Sorry. And you're going to press on this plus sign. So this is how you can just add any content. And then you can decide if you want to upload something. So this is when you're working with students, how you can describe what you're seeing. I also love the Homer Simpson one. You can do a camera, image search, but if you click on this 13, it actually provides other things. So I've even done this with my Indigenous Studies 30 class where I had them do a video recording, so sharing that oral language to share different thoughts about a discussion we had in class. Oh my gosh, that is me right there with the fan. Whoever put that, that is so relatable because it is really hot in our office right now. So thank you for sharing that. So these are the different options that your students will have. And then always here on the side, you can do under settings, you can design and set up your Padlet the way you would like to have it set up. And these are just quick tips and tricks. So just reminding yourself that we're doing little tidbits just to show you how to access it. You can see that in a Padlet, though, you do have access to likes and comments. I actually normally turn off the likes because I don't want this among students to be about how many people gave a heart to somebody's work. I just keep it to comments, and sometimes, depending, I even turn those off. And those controls are all within your settings. And then you also can get a QR code for kids, but a lot of times I just link it and send it to their Google Classroom or D2L page. I like all these little GIFs and GIFs, so feel free to keep adding. A lot of thankful people, a lot of people feeling the sun. Did you ladies want to add anything to the Padlet, or you're good with?
I'm good, Paula. I think I did the 3-day running week one in the example there. Looking forward to that for sure.
Okay. So feel free to keep adding to it. I just wanted to show you this is a tool that you can use for collaboration within your classroom. And for me, Padlet never gets old. Even the videos that students can do is up to 5 minutes at times. Sometimes it's too long though, right? So having a 2-minute quick hitter video is sometimes a lot better, especially when you have to watch them all. So it is a good way for kids to collaborate. in real time. And sometimes, especially with students being shy or having a bit of anxiety, it might be hard for them to share. So this has been a really positive way to get kids to collaborate together. And staff, this is good for staff too. Okay, for those of you who don't know, we have CSSD bookmarks at the top of your page in the left-hand corner. So I'm actually going to take us out of here just to show you guys what that looks like. So when I pop out into my Chrome browser, so you have to be in your Chrome browser, you're going to look along the side here at the top, and you're going to notice that it says CSSD bookmarks. And you're going to scroll down here, and this is giving you access to tons of resources that you might need access to. So a lot of you, when you need access to Bretta, it's here. Ask if you want to ask for help. Maybe you're putting in IT requests. This is a great place to come. Your email, you can always hop in here to be quick. EPD resources. This is how you can quickly get to EdTech. So if you don't know what EPD is, I'll just quickly show you. Here you go. And now I close my presentation. That's awesome. And so here are all the different consultants where we put all of our information. And if you come down to EdTech, this is where you will find today's presentation too, once we post it after this. So if you have information that you need on Google, PowerSchool, Brightspace, or digital citizenship, you can come here, and these have a lot of your digital tools. We also have all of these different topics down here that you can always explore, especially our newsletters, which we work really hard on. Here under digital tools, we'll take you to more resources and stuff that are accessible for you and your students. So I just wanted to show you a quick way to get to EPD. I don't think I used EPD for a long time until I really truly understood what it was. Insignia catalog, this is where you can work with IMC and you can book items like snowshoes, robotics, coding, books. There's tons of different things, science kits, social studies kits, Indigenous kits. So make sure you can work with your IMC team, your librarian, and ask more about booking materials. We've got Brightspace supporting students in learning. Soar is your ebooks. Tumblebooks is a great one for people to look at. I like Tumblebooks and Teen Cloud. This provides books for all of your students. So when you come in here, all your students have access to these books. We work with the Calgary Public Library to share a license with them. So every student always has access to all of these books and read-alongs and things like that. And Teen Cloud obviously has more mature books. And then Curio is your CBC place to get videos. And these are really great for the classroom. These are copyright approved because we actually pay for Curio. There's a lot related to Indigenous Peoples Day, Orange Shirt Day, Black History Month, and many other topics. So you can go into here and it really talks to students about critical thinking, a great source in those high school classes too. Here is also our design challenges that we have through the Changemaker. So this is your waffle that gives you quick access to materials. When I mentioned the Changemaker challenge, just for anyone new to CTF or CTS, you can always use this as part of your course that a lot of people do with challenges around design thinking. Or for those of you new to science curriculum, this is part of your science curriculum too. So just know everything is here quick in the waffle. All right, we're going to move on to the next one. Let me just stop sharing here. I will not do that again, I promise.
I can't promise that I won't do that.
I know.
Awesome.
Okay, so we're actually going to get started on Canva. Canva, all of you guys probably know about Canva. You probably use it a lot within your classes. I love Canva. It's fantastic. I've used it for animation with students. I've used it for slide decks with students, different things like that, setting up calendars and different things to make it more engaging with students. But for a lot of teachers, they don't realize they can get the pro account. We put this out at the end of last year to talk about how to access the free account. Now, I'm actually going to show you the video, and the reason I have to show you the video is because I'm already logged in. So I want to make sure you're able to kind of see how you can access the pro account with Canva. This is probably going to push me out again. So let me just, sorry. Can you ladies see it? Can you see it, Andrea? Just hold on 1 second. Here we go. Can you see it now? Okay. Hi, welcome to Canva Pro. I'm just going to show you how to get access with the district. Many times there's struggles with this, so I'm just going to show you. You can either sign up or log in. I like to go under Education, click here where the teacher and schools, teachers get verified, and then click on Continue with Google. It's really important you're using your Google Learn account. So as you can see, it's paula.huddy@learn, because that's my first name, last name at learn.cssd.ab.ca. This is prompting me to go through the verification steps because of where I opened it up on my screen. Sign in with Canva, and once again it says sign in with Google. So now that I'm signed in with my Google, you're going to be able to see all your different accounts that you have access to. The staff and admin is the Google Pro account through Calgary Catholic. You may see your old accounts in this area too. If you need to check again, you can go plans and pricing, go to the tab under teachers, get verified, and this will prompt you into that group. So please check out this area and hopefully you can get in. If you need more support, please contact EdTech. Thank you. So we know that sometimes this does not work right away. So don't feel the need to be doing it this second, because sometimes it actually takes a little bit of time to get set up. One of the things I will say too is that it's slightly changed. So when you go into Canva, I'll just show you, the home page has changed. So this home page now, it's in the bottom left-hand corner. Or yeah, bottom left-hand corner is where you can actually see that information for staff, which isn't handy when you're on Zoom. So here is where you can see the staff and admin. That means you're in the pro account. So making sure that you go there to make sure you have that. If you don't see it, you can always go to plan and pricing. And that's where it showed you to go to the education tab, get verified as a teacher. I'm already verified, so it's just going to keep pushing me back to my account. So I'm going to have Andrea continue on with teaching you a little more about Canva.
Okay, so hopefully you can see my screen. Can you see the Canva screen there? Yeah, perfect. Okay, so like Paula mentioned, Canva did change the layout. They did a big launch in April last year of a new suite, a design suite. And in that, they actually added some pretty neat tools as well. So they added Sheets as an option, kind of like an Excel program. They have also added a website feature. So lots of different new capabilities and tools in this program. So today we're going to show you some of the new Canva tools that can help save you hopefully a little bit of time. We're going to start and just kind of pretend that we're putting on a science fair. So if you've never been into Canva before, how you would create a new document or create a new sheet or a new project, there's a couple ways to do that. So you could come down here to your kind of quick tools and you can select those. You could also click on the plus side in the top left-hand corner and create a new project from there. And you'll see on the left-hand side some different options for some different types of media that you could create. So I'm going to, just for the sake of this demonstration, create a new presentation. And what's really neat about the upgrade for this suite is it actually allows you to create multiple types of media in one area. So instead of creating a presentation and then creating a poster and having those all in separate documents, the suite now allows us to have it all in one working space. So I'm going to just create, we're going to pretend we're doing like a science fair type project. So if I wanted to put together, you know, a presentation that I could speak to students about for the science project or the science fair, I can choose template. I can also choose my own and create my own presentation. So this is a lot like PowerPoint. I'm going to use this template. So it's a science template. I had actually just searched up science fair, something like that. So I'm going to choose this one. And I'm going to hit apply to all pages. And so you'll notice now in my document, I now have kind of like a PowerPoint presentation or a slides presentation. I have now a Canva presentation. And so from here, I can go in and I can edit whatever I want to edit. You just simply double click and you can type your information into here. You also have the ability to change kind of your fonts at the top menu here. You can add different text effects. You can animate your presentation. Tons of different things you're able to do. But what I really like and what's new to Canva this year, as of April, you're able to actually add a new type of document. And so instead of flipping back and forth to go back to your homepage and to choose a different type of media that you created, you can do it right now in the suite. So for example, if I wanted to create a poster to advertise my science fair, I could click on print. And then from here, I could choose the type of poster I want to create. So I'm going to go back. The other thing I can also do is create that custom size. So if I know I want, you know, an 8.5 by 11 inch size, which is my typical standard paper size that I'm going to print on, I can now add that into my project. So that's why they call it the suite. And you have all those different types of documents in here. So from here, I can head over to design. And it's showing me actually some print now templates. So I'm going to type in science fair. Oh, go back. Let's go. Try this again. No. Where are my templates? Here. I'm going to try it a different way. If you want to delete a canvas, simply click on the 3 dots and you can hit delete. I'm going to delete these 2 just because I want to show you from a template. So I will add a page, add that print. Let's do poster, flyer, portrait, and see if this lets us do this. Design templates, and then let's type in science. And now I have some different templates available. And I believe because I chose the blank canvas, it's making me do that from scratch. But it is nice to be able to find one that's already been done and then to make the changes that you want to make to it. So whether you want to change the text or if you want to, so we'll click on one of these. And then you can simply just double click and you can change the date, whatever date you want to put in there, and then just make it your own. And you can also change the text if you want. If I can spell October right, there we go. And that way you have a poster now in your suite. The last one I wanted to show you, what was the last one? So you got your poster, is you can create a document as well. There's tons of, I don't want to overwhelm you, but let's do a document. And let's say you wanted to do some guidelines for the science fair project. You can create a document. This is kind of like a Word document type style, so you don't want to use this to create a poster. I often make that mistake. I hit doc instead of print or custom size. But in this case too, you'll notice up here on your toolbar, you also have the option to use this Magic Write feature. And so this is an AI feature with Canva, and they have come a long way in their AI capabilities. But for the sake of this presentation, I'm just going to put science fair guidelines just as a starting point, because keeping in mind when we're using any AI, we are the expert in the field. So whatever it produces, we can go through it, we can edit it, we can revise it, we can make it our own. But I'm just going to insert this, and then now you can see it's created an outline for the science fair guidelines. So now in my suite, I have my presentation that I might give the students. I have a poster I can use to advertise that event. And then I also have a document with some guidelines that I could provide students to take home as well. And I'm going to delete that blank page in here. Now this theme, not very consistent. I would change this to make it all match. But just to show you some of the capabilities that Canva has is pretty amazing. So we'll go back to our homepage. And from here, I just wanted to show you a couple other cool and new features of the program. So there is Sheets, Canva Sheets, and it has some pretty neat tools such as some insights and some magic charts. And so I'm going to create a new sheet. So this is a new sort of feature I want to show you. So this tool allows us to basically take some data. So I'm going to be tracking how many books students in grade 5 have read in September. So I have my list here in my data. I can type it in, and I would normally do that. But for the sake of time, I'm just going to paste it in here. And they should all be in their own cell. I'm going to take books read and paste this data in here. Okay, so this is my sheets. And what I really like about this tool in Canva is that I can really quickly make some charts with this information. So I'm going to select the data, and then up here in my toolbar, you'll see a quick action button. So if I click on quick actions and scroll down, I can import data, I can generate a table, but I'm really interested in this magic charts feature. So if I click on magic charts, I'm actually able to see a bunch of different charts I can create, and I can click on view all charts. And if I want a nice visual for this data, I'm able to just click on the type of chart I'm looking for. And then from here, I can go in and customize the options as well. So you can include a legend, you can include some data labels, a whole bunch of different options. You can add your own custom title, etc. So really neat feature. The other thing I really liked about Sheets that you may or may not find useful, I'm going to delete the chart. I'm going to select my data, head up to actions, and then I really appreciated the magic insight feature. So from here, if you click on there, you can ask questions to generate, some feedback that you are interested in. But just, I'm going to select the spot trends just to see what it's going to generate based on the data that I have entered into my sheet. So we'll wait while it generates the insights here. And then now it's going to tell me some things. The average number of books read by the students is 5. The maximum number of books by one single student was 7. Minimum books read were 3. So this is a really good way to get some visual data and that type of thing if you're looking for that. So I thought I'd share that with you for magic charts. Okay, the last feature I want to show you, and I know this is really quick, this session is recorded, so if you have to come back to this, And we'll also be providing more Canvas sessions in the future that go through these tools in more depth. But I'm going to close out of here, and I'm back at my home page. And so one thing that I noticed on the left-hand side of Canva is this Canva AI feature. And if I click on here, new to Canva, they have a whole bunch of different things you can do and activities you can do. And the one that interested me was the code for me. And so clicking on code for me, I scroll down and I can see some examples. So they're giving us some different ideas that you can do with coding in Canva that's new. And so one tool that comes across our desk quite frequently is a timer. And like using a YouTube video as a timer in your presentation. Well, now you can simply click on the code feature, and up at the top, it's going to insert a prompt. Okay, so create a visually striking countdown timer. And just again, with prompting with anything, just being very specific. Now I'm going to change, this is a meditation timer. I'm actually going to change it to 5 minutes. And in here, I believe it has the color blue to purple. I'm just going to make this a purple, not a gradient, but purple background. And then let's just hit submit and see what it produces. Now, this information and data might look a little scary to some, but what you really want to see is the result it produces. And once it produces my timer, I can actually insert this into a presentation. I can copy and paste it. But more importantly, I can make any adjustments to it that I need to based on that prompting. So this is just seeing some of the capabilities that AI has, and especially in Canva. And this is a feature that is available in your education account. Now, I should mention that with Calgary Catholic, teachers have an education account. Students right now do not. So you might notice, and I'll take you back to the homepage once this is finished, but just how to share links or content with students. I'll show you a couple of ways that you can do that. And so here you'll see version 1. Hopefully it pops up. There we go. And so now you have an interactive timer that you've just created. And it did do my purple background, and it changed the time to 5. So lots of different things you can do. Now, up at the top here, I can click on Use in Design. Maybe I want it in a presentation. That seems to be pretty common. So now in here, I have my timer in my presentation. And you can actually copy this. And so if you went back to another presentation, so I'm going to go back to my home page. Now open up that science presentation that I made. And if I wanted to add the timer in here, I should be able to paste that timer into that presentation. So this is just one little example of what you can do with the Canva AI and the coding feature. There's so much more if you are interested that you can explore with. If you head back to Canva AI, take a look. You can actually filter these by student activities. Lots of different design for me, create an image, that type of thing. So going back to the home page, I'm going to click on that science project. Now, if I wanted to share this, I could share it by clicking on the share button in the top right-hand corner. I could download the presentation as a PDF. Assigning it right now, I tried that yesterday, and because I wasn't able to add students with their @Learn account, it did not work for me. So the workaround is using that Google Classroom, creating a public view link that you can provide students if or parents, or getting out information like that poster. They could click on a link with that. So some different options there for you to share. So that's what I would do, is just hit share. If you want to present your presentation, you have the present option up here if you're using the Canva app. So those are just some features, some new exciting features in Canva that hopefully you can take a moment to explore on your own time. And also know that we did put together an introductory Canva series last year, and it is on our EPD site that Paula had shared with you at the beginning with the bookmarks. And so you're more than welcome to take a look at those videos. And then this year we're looking at exploring some more features in the program. And I'm going to pass it back to Paula.
Hello again. Well, I love Canva. You could see why Andrea and I are both like huge fans of it because we use it for so many things. And so is Brandy. The three of us use it all the time because it's quite powerful. Another tool that you might not know you have access to is Book Creator. Book Creator is a fantastic digital platform that creates books. And a lot of times it's actually perceived as an elementary app, but it's actually a fantastic digital tool for all. I even used it in my master's. So just like the Canva, we did an introductory Book Creator series last year, which I have linked here just so you have access to that. So I'm going to go into Book Creator just to give you a feel for it. Let me go back out. So when you go into Book Creator, or actually when you go into our EPD, it'll give you the steps to creating or to create your own accounts because it just takes a little bit to set up. You just log in with your Google Learn account. You guys get 1,000 free books because Calgary Catholic is currently paying for it. So it's currently a paid program. And the reason we love it is because it adds a lot of accessibility features that many tools don't have. And if any of you guys were flip feet people, which I was heartbroken when it got taken away. I have found this has been a good alternative, still not the same, but it gives you different platform for using video, audio, and a lot of things like that. So I'm just going to show you how this works. So here's your library. And here's a discovery library, a place to learn, a certification course. They've actually simplified this certification course, and I did this yesterday. It actually took like 20 minutes. So if you want to kind of learn the ins and outs of Book Creator, I would actually start with a certification course. And you don't have to do it all at once, or you could skip sections to what you need just to kind of get a feel for it if you're stuck on how to use it. So in the libraries, this is where you will see that you create books or have books in your library. So books kind of look like this, and almost everything you are able to change and adapt and to have your students work in it. So it's either having your students, you design a book and your students are able to work in it, or they can have their own book to design and work in it too. So I'm just going to show you a few of the templates. So when I go back to my books in this area, my favorite place to go to get started before I have to like dive into all this stuff, I would just go to the Discover Library. The Discover Library is pre-created books that you can copy and use with your students. You can tweak it to work with whatever curriculum you are using, and you can make it work for your everyday class. I actually love these beginning journals or Book Creator books, and they actually have put them in different age groups. And it's just because it provides a platform for kids to understand how to use Book Creator. So especially right now, it's the start of the school year. If you wanted to try Book Creator with your students, doing one of these books is really powerful for your students. And sorry, I think someone has their mic on. If you could turn that off, thank you. So here, when you click on a book that you like in the Discover Library, you're going to scroll down and you're going to say, remix this book. So that means you can take this book and make it your own. So I already have libraries set up, so I'm just going to throw it into one of my libraries and copy to the library. And now I can go to the library. And now it's going to be sitting in the library. If you want to create a library, you would just go back out and create library. I'll show you where that tab is in just a second. I meant to show that to you first. So you can see it's thinking. Here you go. And now you have access to creating this book. This book is for grades 6 to 8. Obviously, you can tweak that because you may not feel that it works in this way. And for all the different parts of Book Creator, you click here on the plus sign, and it allows you to have images, camera, pen, text, record, record audio or video. You have all these super cool options, even when you click on images. It's in a safe environment, which I really enjoy. The other piece I would say is that here, when you can see the typing, you are able to translate. You are able to change this into different languages for your students. So some people actually come into Book Creator and use it for that translation piece. And then here's that audio piece where students can speak into it if they struggle to type. And sometimes, especially with the younger kids, sometimes they struggle with the way they speak. So I'll just tell them to say one word at a time if they need that word. Or if I'm with older kids, even in grade 12, I just said, well, just say, like, speak clearly and it'll pick it up. And a lot of the kids like that, but they like the translation features too. And so in Book Creator, though, there's also this inspector button, and that always provides additional information and tools. So I kind of just wanted to give you a base of you're able to copy books by going into that Discover library. So you have My Libraries. This is that place where you first create a library so you could put it in there. So if you were teaching grade 8 health, you could go grade 8 health, create your library, and then when you go to Discover Library, that's when you can share it over with your students. Now, if you need other steps, you can go into those videos that I already shared, and there's also that certification course to kind of give you a better understanding of how that works. Then one other thing I just wanted to show you quickly is that you are able to translate any book. So the full book can be translated. So you can click on a book. Let's go here. So I clicked on this book. Here's a book. You can see that all the words, so you can actually have notes on the side sometimes in your books. And then when you click on the book, when it's in your library, it says translate book. So you can choose a language and change it to that language, translate, and now it's going to create that book, but I notice it always brings it up here to the top. And so that is where you can actually translate a book for your students too. Adding students to your library. The steps are in that certification. I don't want to go through all the steps, but just knowing you can also watch what your students are doing through this tab up here on the top. So that's just a quick snippet of Book Creator. I know it's a lot, so that's why I don't want to go into a lot of it. It's just to give you a base of what it is, but how it could provide that universal design for learning, where we're really looking at giving kids a little bit more choice with how they deliver their materials. So that's really important for what we are doing. So also just making sure I covered everything, which I did, so we're good. So we're going to go into the Google Classroom. So I know that was a lot to take in. You just did Canva, and you did Book Creator, and they're all kind of heavy topics, but we want to give you a base for you to understand what's available, what we're paying for as a district, and what you can move forward with. Don't feel you have to use everything. Just take it in baby steps. Choose one thing today that works for you, and that's okay. But it's just because we don't get many times to speak with you guys about all the stuff that's available and all the new stuff, especially over the summer. Because even Andrea and I and Brandy, we were looking and we were like, oh my gosh, so much changes in those 2 months. It's actually shocking, and especially with AI. So the next thing we're going to look at is Google Classroom. So a lot of you are using Google Classroom, but I'm just making sure, this is a quick one for you guys, that you're using it and signing up and creating it in a good way to help it be easier for you. So when you do Google Classroom, you actually, if you go through the CSSD website, so if you go to the Calgary Catholic School website here, you are going to go to the waffle and you are going to click on Google Classroom. The reason you would like to use this way is because it will connect to Power Teacher. And because of that, it actually brings in a lot of the emails, not always, but it actually makes it flow a lot better for you when you're setting up your Google Classroom. So it brings you right to your Google Classroom when you click on that, and then you create your new class. So that's just a quick hitter. So make sure that you're going to that Calgary Catholic site, to the waffle, and you're clicking on Google Classroom and going through the dashboard to create your classes. Don't just go to the waffle, your normal Google waffle, go through this way. And it's going to really help save some time with those parent emails. All right, I'm going to let Andrea go now to continue on with Google Classroom.
Okay, like Paula had mentioned, there are a lot of new things that kind of came up over the summer, especially with AI. Can you see my screen? Is it good?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so in your waffle, if you head to Google Classroom, I'm not sure if you followed along with Paula, but if you click on one of your classes or if you look on the left-hand side, you should actually see now that Gemini has been added there. And so it's kind of crazy, but there is a new dashboard available for teachers from Google that has been integrated into Classroom. And so this is available and you do have access to this. And when we were at a session from Google last year, I think it was mid-year, they were actually saying that this was going to be a paid feature. And it is not. It's part of our suite now. So we're pretty excited about that. So I thought I'd show you just a quick demonstration today, how you can create some content and then change that content, or create a Google form or quiz from that content, which is one of the features that really had me excited during that session. So with this integration, always remember, and I mentioned this earlier, you are the expert in your area. So if you are producing AI generated content, really it's useful when you know what the material and content is that you're producing and that it's accurate. And so we're taking that responsibility to ensure accurateness and that it's not producing misinformation that we're providing to our students. And so having said that, to get started, I was just thought I'll show you a couple of things about this interface. So if you click on planning, it basically filters for you with some different options for you to select from. We have instructional material, we have creating rubrics, quizzes, brainstorming project ideas, supporting, and then just some administrative tasks like the classroom letter, newsletter design. But for the sake of this demonstration, I am going to see what creating a lesson plan is going to do. Now, this gives us some guidance for our prompting. And so for this example, I'm just going to type in grade 10. This is going to be my grade 10 photography class. So under there, it's asking for us to describe the standards, what we want to generate. And so I've created a prompt based on my grade 10 photography class. And I'm kind of starting out, you're an expert photography teacher. I need a lesson plan, 60 minutes for grade 10 students. I know I've included some of the information that they've prompted me to include already, but I'm looking at describing ISO, aperture, and shutter speed with my students. So I'm going to generate, and you can see there, you do have the option of uploading your own work. But once I've generated, continued on, it's actually generated some learning objectives. So I'm going to read through those and make sure that that is exactly what I want the lesson plan to incorporate. So if ISO, aperture, explain the element individually and the resulting image, Students will be able to manipulate their settings in the camera, yes, to achieve the desired exposure in various lighting conditions. So now from there, it looks good to me. I'm going to generate that lesson plan. And what's kind of neat about this is that, and when we saw this, that it actually provides some, you'll notice, we'll see how long this is going to take. There we go. So you can read through this. And what I really like about what it generates is the common misconceptions. And that's one thing that we didn't really see in some other AI tools, unless prompted, of course. But it does give that misconception that students may think that ISO only affects the brightness and quality of the image. And so it gives us some possible ways to overcome those misconceptions with students. So I thought that was pretty neat. But reading through, you do have a lesson plan here that it has produced. It's exploring ISO, aperture, and then lastly, that shutter speed that makes up that exposure triangle, which I forgot to add in there. But at the bottom, what's kind of neat is you can export this. You can export it to docs. You can copy and paste it over. But here you can also generate a quiz. And so this feature I thought was pretty neat. So I'm going to generate a quiz. And again, it's prompting us the grade, the number of questions you want to create for that quiz. You have the topic, the objectives. You can actually even choose, do you want multiple choice questions? Do you want true and false? Do you want short answer? And then just click on generate questions. And from here, it's going to provide us with a quiz. And so again, taking our time as the expert, reading through, making sure the information is in fact correct. At the bottom, you do have more prompts that you could select. So create a more difficult version, create a version with higher order thinking, or create different vocabulary in it. And I'm going to export this. And this is what blew me away in that session was you can actually select export to forms. And so it has created, take a little minute here, a Google form. Obviously, I need to make some adjustments to it, but it has gone ahead and imported that and saved us quite a bit of work by putting that into Google Forms. So just going back to the dashboard here. I'm going to lose that work. I just thought I'd point out just some other interesting ones on here. You had, it was the translation one that was in here. Sometimes there's a lot going on in here. So just taking some time and looking through it and seeing what's going to be more relevant to you. But under supporting students, there's that translate text and relevel text tools, which could prove to be very useful, and just copying and pasting it in there is an option for you as well. Furthermore, I'm not touching on this today, but just in some of our future sessions, we'll look at your ability to create a gem. So if you wanted to go directly into Google Gemini and the chat and just prompt in this tool, you're able to do that. But also you do have the ability to create a personalized gem. And I just wanted to point this out in case there's some AI users that want to go kind of above and beyond and to create their own gem. So if there's something you're constantly doing and you're typing in the same prompt all the time, you're actually able to create your own. And that way you won't have to upload and have that same prompt all the time. It will allow you to create your own custom kind of chat there. Okay, so I'm gonna head out of here, and I think Paula's gonna take it over now. I know that's a lot of information, but again, we're just trying to show you some of the new updated tools and resources you have access to. She's going to show us some Google Read and Write.
So when you're in anything, any document or anything you're working on with your students, Let's pull up this report. So here's a report, and ooh, things went nuts in here. Here's that read and write toolbar. So right now, the reason it's there is because I need to put it horizontal on the top. So here's the toolbar with all the different features your students have to work with them while they are inside of a Google document. Now, when you're outside of a document and on a website, there's additional features that work there. So I'm just going to go back to the presentation. I'm going to show you this feature tool. And the reason I am taking you here is because this is, 1 second, sorry.
Just needed to do a little cough break there. 1 sec, she's coming back.
I'm coming back, don't worry. My throat got dry. It's very hot in this room. I'm blaming it on the room. Okay, so these are all the different features that you saw in that bookmark that I have over here. So what I would do with the students is actually take them on this feature tour. There's many videos to explain what each thing is. So this one is checking and correcting spelling and grammar. Prediction provides predictive words for students as they're typing. So if they struggle with spelling and they have this on, they can have those different prediction tools on. We also have text to speech. We have a whole bunch of other ones. Andrea's favorite one was the audio maker, because now this has AI voices within it. So you can come on here, you can watch this little video, and then it's going to convert it into an MP3. So it's fantastic for students, and it's more realistic now, the reading, than when this first came out. And as you scroll down, you're going to see there's a lot of other things. Obviously, we can't go through all of these, but some of the AI features in here is simplify. So if you are on a website with your students and it is too difficult for them, they can click on simplify, and this is going to simplify the text for them. It actually makes it a lot easier for the students, and it's a good way to sometimes even capture the text and take it out of the website for them to read in a simplified way. And you can make it just talk about the basics of that site. So the simplify, I really love that one. And then the other one that's connected to that is rewordify. And this takes big words and changes it to simplified words. So we can go here. So they have the readability. So you can see here, it'll turn it into italics. I don't love the italics because sometimes I feel like they're hard to see. But when you use it in Simplify and then Rewordify, you can see it a bit easier. So those are just a few features. I highly recommend you going through these features with your students, as they have access to this in their bookmark every day when they are working on different things. So if they're going onto a website, they have access. If they are going into a doc, they have access. So really using this, we pay for this as a district. It's quite expensive. So showing people we're using it to help students in the classroom, or using it for yourself even. I used it for myself while I was doing my master's. When I needed little help with different things, I was able to use this platform too. So really looking at it for all people, and teaching even EAs how to use this. And hopefully there's some EAs in this session, because this is really helpful when you're supporting students within the classroom. All right, we're taking it over. It feels like this is a lot.
Google Notebook LM. So I don't know if you've heard of this AI tool, but it is one that's been kind of highly talked about. We did an AI session on Wednesday, and then surprisingly, quite a few teachers hadn't used this tool. So we are going to show you the tool, and what's kind of new about this is it's in our Google Waffles. So if we're logged into Google Chrome, and we can click on the waffle here, and if you scroll down, you'll actually see Notebook LM is now living in our waffle. So I'm going to click on this, and it had been a while since, I guess, last June that I've been in here, but I took a look at it this last week, and It's pretty awesome. So this is a research and organizational tool. It's kind of looking at it like a personal learning assistant that helps you pull resources together, summarize them, and then it generates some questions or study guides based on the information you provide it. So it's kind of like a living notebook. So I created one with the academic integrity presentation that we used. But for the sake of this demonstration, I will go back. I'm going to click on Create New Notebook. And then from here, you can see that you're actually providing the information for Notebook LM to look at. So it's actually developing or producing, I should say, content generated on the sources that you give it. So it's not pulling from outside of the web unless you've added a website for it to look at specifically. So why I like this is because I could take a presentation that I've created and then I can put that into here. So I'm gonna actually go to Google Slides and I'll do that same presentation, that academic integrity and AI, and I can put it in here. And it's actually going to whatever I want it to produce. So whether it's an audio MP3 overview, it could be a mind map. It even now has the ability to produce videos, which is pretty awesome. So if you scroll down here, if I click on the audio right now, it's going to take a while to produce that audio file. But if I head up here to audio overview, what's really neat about this is you can now customize it. Because if you've used this before, you probably thought, oh, this voice again, it's these two talking again. And now you can actually make it shorter, you can make it longer, but you can also prompt it to focus on specific pieces of your content. So if there's only something you wanted to focus on in your presentation, then you would type it into here and then generate the audio based on that information that you want it to look at. So here, I'll just give you an example of the mind map feature. So I've imported this entire presentation. I'm going to select mind map. And from here, it's going to generate a mind map based on that. If you hover, we'll look at it in a minute, but if you hover over reports, from here, you're able to create, a briefing doc, a study guide, some facts or questions, and a timeline. And so from here, if I click on there, this is the map it's produced based on the material that I've provided. You can always give it some feedback, whether you like it or not, but there are some it expands as well. And again, keeping in mind that this is based off the information that I've provided. So it's in-house, it's not going to other sites, which is kind of what makes this a unique AI tool. So I'm going to head back out of this and go into the one that I created, the video. And I just want to share what video it produced with what I gave it. So I'm going to click on play.
Generative AI. It's one of the biggest challenges, and let's be honest, opportunities in education right now. So today, we're going to walk through a practical guide designed specifically for educators on how to navigate academic integrity in this new world. Yep, it's here. And you know what? It's not going anywhere. For educators, these powerful AI tools bring up a whole mix of feelings.
Okay, so that's an example. If I kind of skip through it, you'll see it's
a tool. It's
produced some slides for it. And obviously I'd want to go through that before I downloaded it and provided it to students on like a Brightspace or Google Classroom or anything like that. Now the age for this tool, I looked yesterday because teachers wanted it to be accessible more to students. Just because it's an enclosed environment. And so they did change the age from 13 and up with some safeguards. So it is something we're going to be exploring in the next little bit to see how if we can roll that out to student use. But right now it's teacher use. But you can actually download the files from here. So if you click on the 3 dots here and click on download, you're able to actually download the video file and the audio file, and then you can upload that into your programs. The audio file,
Welcome
if you
to our
actually
deep dive.
play this, there is
Today
an
we're tackling-
interactive feature where you can actually prompt it and ask questions. So if you're unclear about something, you actually have the ability to ask it some questions. And I was playing with that yesterday here, interactive mode. So if you click on interactive mode and you hit play, you can actually join
Welcome to our
in the
deep dive.
conversation.
Today we're tackling
And so
generative AI,
once you hit join,
creating
you'll
text,
just
images.
say, hey, can you explain that to me in more detail? And the AI will actually talk to you and start explaining it to you. It's a pretty neat function that they have available now. So I know this is a lot as well, but this is an awesome tool if you're looking at inputting your own material into this or linking it to specific websites and drawing on creating some resources from that. This is another option that's available for teachers. And oh yes, that's right. Under settings, you can also change the output language. So you can create audio or videos and you can actually change the language. So if you have students that would benefit from that as well and create those audio files, that's where you would adjust that and make those changes. I think that's a lot. So I'm going to pass it back to Paula, and she's going to show us this new tool that popped up in the summer, this Google Vids tool.
Once again, I'm muted. It's everything you guys all have been asking for. All the time we ask, or people are asking, how can we use videos with Google? Do we have something? Now we can say yes. In your Google Waffle, scrolling down, you're going to look for this Vids. There is Google Vids now. Like, that's so exciting. I'm a video person, so this excites me so much. So you can record and share. Everything goes directly to your drive. They can start with templates, or you can even import slides and add audio or video to it. It is fantastic. I just love it. So click here on blank. If you've ever used any video platform, you'll know that a lot of times there's a timeline at the bottom for you to kind of view stuff, but you could put little snippets in. Look at all these videos. They even have transitions for fading and for slides. I know the other day, so I'm going to just go here. I think I have some. See what I got. So this connects directly to my drive. So the other day I was talking to the Indigenous team. They're like, hey, Paula, can you help with this? Well, now I could be like, look at this. So here's that timeline I'm talking about when you work with a video. I'm going to delete this, but now you can delete parts if you need to. Oops. And there's always that undo button when you do a video stuff. So that's fantastic. But you can play the video, you can time it, you can add scripts, record. There's a lot of possibilities here. And I know we've showed you a lot, so I don't want to go totally into it yet. But I'm just showing you that it exists, that it's in your Google Classroom, and that there's a lot of capabilities with your students. So if they want to make little videos on the Chromebooks now, you go into Google Vids and kids can, which is fantastic. And then also they can insert their own from their drive or upload from their source that they're using. So there's a lot of potential and possibilities with this one. So I just wanted to show it to you because it's in slides now too, and it's in docs. It's part of your Waffle. Most people don't know it exists. It's in your Google Classroom, but I've been looking for a video platform for ages. So it's purple, it's lovely, and it's just sitting right there waiting for you. So make sure you start with some videos if you ever need. Even a lot of times for presentations now, we can go back, throw in our slide deck and just speak over it using Google Vids, and it goes right into your drive, so you're not worried about storage either, which is fantastic. Okay, The last thing I'm just going to quickly show you, and I'm not even going to show it to you, I'm just going to show you the slide, is Google Earth. I'm a Google Earth person. I'm very mappy and happy. I'm both. I'm just trying to crack a joke. It's the end of the presentation. Um, so Google Earth is one of the most underutilized platforms, but if we really want our kids to start thinking about the world and care about places that they love, we really need to connect our curriculum to places. So going into Google Earth is a great platform that is easy and accessible for all. It actually is great for science class, for reading, for anything that you're doing with your students. There is a time lapse now. If you want to look at historical data of glaciers, of forest fires, or anything happening in the world, you can look at this historical data. I looked at it for urban sprawl in Calgary. It's a great way to show kids how much we've grown as a city. So using this as a platform. The other thing with my Indigenous Studies class and even with grade 1, I've done projects where you can actually create a whole project with your students. And the projects allow you to make like a slide deck. And you can basically create everything there. So under tools here, or under help, sorry, are the videos to show you how to do everything. We don't have time today, so this will be a different session another time, but I want you to know it exists, and I want you to consider using it sometimes, even when you're reading a story, looking up those places for your students to understand their place in the world and where they're from is fantastic. So I know this has been a very long day for all of you and a long week. So we're not going to worry about that. We just want to share with you that we have additional information on our EdTech website for EdTech EPD. So feel free to go there for any of this information. If you want to sign up for our newsletter, we work really hard on it. Andrea really works hard on it. And this is where you can link up to it. So any updates in tech, which is like weekly, there's always new stuff coming out, it will be in this newsletter. So please, please make sure you sign up. We would love to have you join us.